Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the demo submission stream. We got a lot of tracks and mixes to go through today. So before we get into that, I just want to make sure you all can hear my mic all right. Please let me know that it's coming through, because otherwise there's no point in me giving feedback if you can't hear me. Which hopefully you can. It's what? Music, so what's playing? Ah, that's what's playing. I forgot that I was listening to some music in the background. My bad. Yeah, we can hear you. All right, perfect. Let's get right into this. So first off, we have a remix from Grim, who is QE3ZY in the chat. I know he was here last week. I don't know if he's here right now, but we're gonna go listen to it real quick. Let's get right into it. Why can't I hear anything? Oh. Super professional. I don't even have my headphones plugged in. We're killing it. Yeah, so I definitely recognize that melody. Alright, so right here, I definitely think this could use a bit of more of a riser just to build tension in it, because otherwise it kind of just hits you out of the blue. Like, I'm gonna play it one more time. It just kind of comes in. The little stutter you have here just sounds weird to me. It sounds like it's not supposed to be there. And on the main chords, add a little bit of reverb to them so that when they go away, there's still a bit of a presence. On the little bass stabs you got in there, that's a big part of this big room house. I would really bump the loudness of those and more the mids and the high regions, because you got the bass in it, but the actual top end of it's a little buried in your mix. So see if you can get those a bit louder, because that's really going to drive through that punch. Yeah, man. So like overall, this track is sounding great. I think on the mastering side, watch to be careful that you're not compressing your highs a bit too much, because they sound too crunchy to me, and that's the best way that I can describe it. It sounds like the highs are just getting distorted a bit too much. Past that, it's just maybe working a little bit of FX, but this is just a fun track. It slaps. I like it. I like it. All right. Next up, we got an original song from Warehouse Goblin, who is muzgfazaaa in the chat. He might or she might be here. I don't know. If they are, great. If not, we're playing it anyways because this is going up on YouTube afterwards. So don't worry, if you guys aren't here for when your track, it's always gonna be on YouTube afterwards. No biggie. Let's get right into it. DMB 2020, let's go. Dude, this absolutely slaps. Are you kidding me? Hey Rena, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it.
The audio just cut out. Josh, audio just cut out.
What happened?
Audio cut out.
What? How? Alright.
The music did it.
Yeah, Streamlabs is being weird. I'll just reroute the audio hub. It's all good. Let's see if it plays now. Is it back? Yeah, we back. I don't know why that cut out. Thanks for letting me know. It's all good. I literally don't know. Not even sure how that happened. Yeah, okay. So that one hit me like a truck. That was fantastic. I think there's only two things that I would say to improve upon this. And one, see if you can get your snare a bit more present in the mix. The volume of it's good, it just gets buried sometimes. And two, whenever you have the little vocal stabs in there, see if you can add a delay to just like have them fade out and be still present in the mix after they're done talking. But past that, just send this to demos. Like, somebody's gonna pick this up. This is fantastic. I really enjoyed that and was not expecting it to slap that hard. So good job. Chat really enjoyed it too. I liked it. All right, moving on. We got Mostrino. I know he's in. I know he's in the mix. Time for your clown track, dude. Don't shit on yourself like that. You're good. It's all good. This is a learning experience. So if you guys weren't here last week, he submitted a mix last week. So now we're gonna listen to an original of his. Here we go.
I'm saying, love it if you wanna go on down. Cause darling, we were made for bigger things. This place keeps killing our dreams. Let's go, love. I'm saying it's tired of waiting. We could leave this whole place behind. Let's go, love. I'm saying it's tired of waiting. We could leave this whole place behind. Tell me, babe, you wanna leave this town? Tell me, babe, you wanna leave this town? Tell me, babe, you wanna leave this town? I'm saying, love it if you wanna go on down, go on down, go on down.
Alrighty, so let's dive right into this. First off, on this build up, I like the snares that you pick for it, but see if you can pitch them up as you get closer to the drop. Something that I like doing is starting my snares off in key, but then as the build up progresses, raise it up until at the very end of the build up it hits plus 12. It almost acts as another riser. On the drop is good. I'm assuming, I hope so when I say this, that this isn't like fully mixed and mastered yet. Because if so, go back and check your drums. Because right now, if I play this part, right, yeah, not yet, cool. When you do so, make sure that you get your drums to punch through. That's something that's really important that I'm still working on myself, but I can still pick it up in others. So watch to make sure that it's coming through the mix. You can use sidechain compressors, you can use the LFOs or something, waveform, yeah, you know what I'm getting at. Just make sure that your drums punch through. Let me listen to the drop. We're just gonna keep playing it, and then I'll get you a little bit more feedback at the end. Add a little bit of delay to those synths. I think that would be nice. Oh, another thing. I saw Feathervane mentioned it earlier. On your piano stabs, see if you can add a delay like on a 4 or an 8 so that it goes like doom, 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 doom. So like it just fades out, and that probably wasn't the best way for you to get it, but it's almost like it strums and then is like building downwards, but it's still getting that presence of the chord in that part, because otherwise the piano just feels a little dry.
I'm saying, love it if you wanna go on down. Cause darling, we were made for bigger things. This place keeps killing our dreams. This place keeps killing our dreams. Killing our dreams, killing our dreams.
All right, so that one comes a bit out of the blue. If you were to add like a kick pattern right here, and I'll play the kick into the mic with it so you get an idea, but I think that would really help add a bit of tension before that big hit comes out of the blue.
Hey babe, you wanna leave this town? I'm saying, love it if you wanna go on down. Darling, we were made for bigger things. This place keeps killing our dreams. This place keeps killing our dreams.
I think that would help a little bit. Place behind. All right, watch the low end on those arbs because I think it's clashing a bit with your pads. Yeah, so overall, I think this is a fantastic start. You've got a lot going for it in this one. Few things just off the bat that'll help improve it a lot. Watch your drums. I know Feathervane said it in here, and it's great. Try switching out your drum samples with other ones. I'm not sure that the ones you've picked are the best for this track, but the layout of them is good. Another thing, don't be afraid to use sound effects like risers, falls, impacts. Those will all really help add to the tension and resolution of the mix. So add those in. I think that will help you out a lot. And yeah, the ARPs in the last drop, just be careful that they're not too overpowering. Honestly, I might pan them to the side a bit more and cut the lows from them completely. But past that, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a fun track. Just work a bit on the mix and master and you'll be good to go. All right. Hope that helps. Next up, we got KRYO, which is also KRYO in the chat. If you're here, we're about to watch your mix. Your original track, I mean. And if you're not, you're going to listen to it later, hopefully. All right, this track is KRYO and Mikito. I'm sorry if I messed those names up. And the track is Decimate. Here we go. Alright, so before we get too farther, and I forget about this, one thing about the mix that you have right now, first off, the track's a bop. Like, it's a banger. But not everybody's going to be listening to this on studio monitors or whatever you use to make this, because I can tell that the sub is really low, but you can't really, you don't have any of that same energy a bit higher in the mix, and as such, it's not really coming through my headphones. And if it's not coming through these, it's probably not coming through people's ear pods or their phone speaker, whatever. So see if you can find a way to get a top layer of that bass line in there so that it'll punch through on things that other people are going to be listening to, so that it doesn't lose that energy in the mix. Because it's a banger. Let's get back to it. Yeah, alright, so that's fire. I think the only thing I would say, watch your top line bass so that it cuts through on everybody's speakers, and maybe change your kick sample to something that's a bit punchier. I feel like sometimes the kick gets a little bit lost, but past that, KRYO and Makito fucking nailed it. That was great. That was great. That was really good. I enjoyed that. Alright. Oh, beautiful. That's what I was just about to ask you, Mostrino. Alright, new usage of Found a Reason. Feel alright in overdrive. Interesting. Heavily simplified mega mash. Switched out primary slug from human air. Okay, that'll probably make more sense when I listen to it. Alright. We're gonna listen to this. We're getting into some DJ mixes now. This one is specifically for the Monster Cat Mix Contest. Let's hit it. Was it supposed to just go away? I'm not sure. Oh, you just sent the stuff you changed. Dude, you legend. Okay. That makes so much more sense now. I'm gonna listen to it again because I was so caught off guard. I didn't understand, but that makes a lot more sense. All right, let me listen to it again real quick. I appreciate you for doing that. I really do. All right, yeah, that first part definitely sounds much better. It just fits better in the mix, so good. All right, I'm not sure that I like the Grant sample on top. Like the pitch that you added to it fit, but the rest of it I'm just not sure does. So either check the key on that or just remove it entirely, because I'm not sure that fits with what you got going on.
Alone here, wanted to disappear, change our names, live on the sun, where every sound is clearer, burns a little deeper. I guess I found a reason, guess I found a reason.
Yeah, so that was a great way to include Found a Reason. I did enjoy that a lot. The one thing I would say on this build-up part here, something about it sounded messy to me, and I can't pinpoint what it was because there were a few things going on, but just go back and listen to that before the drop and see if you can clean that up just a bit more, because I think that'll really help you get into the drop. But let me go through it one more time. Yeah, I think it just might be the way that you're EQing things out and in and such. So just take a minute, maybe even take a few days, just pull yourself back from the mix. Don't listen to it at all, and then a few days later, listen to it and see if there are things that you would change about it, because that always helps me. I do it all the time with whether that be Call the Wild or album mixes or stuff like that, just take a few days. Your ears get tired. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, so I think I'm almost certain that I recommended to do that last time. That fits. You nailed that part. Good job. All right, yeah, that sounds so much better than what it did. So much better. That's clean. All right, yeah, good job on that one. Really liked it.
Every day is a reason to chase what you've been dreaming. For you, I strive.
It was a much better way to go into this chill part as well.
Every week is a season. The winter
That just flowed.
was waiting. I don't mind. I
On the piano in the background, I forget which track it's from, forgive me, but add a little bit of reverb, drop the volume on it just a bit, because Snowblind, beautiful, thank you. This is why I love chat. Yeah, drop the volume on it just a bit, because people will be able to hear it, they'll pick up on it and go, oh, it's this track. But just add a bit of reverb, bring it down in volume just a little bit, because you want the volume of the vocals to be more present in the mix, but just having that in there will sound good. Just don't drop it too far. The other thing, you might even, I don't know what program you use to mix. What program do you use? Because I know in Ableton there's a thing called utility, and you can just add stereo with FL Studio. All right, I'm sure there's something in FL Studio where you can add stereo width to it and just maybe push it off to the side a bit more. That way it's out of the way of the mono vocals, and that'll also help it fit a bit better. All right, I liked the repetition of the stabs of the piano there. That really helped you get into the bassy part of it. That was really nice.
In your heart there's a beating. Sometimes I think that I can feel it. Keeps my time. Every night when I'm dreaming, feels like I'm falling through the ceiling. I don't mind, no.
Yeah, that's so much better. Everything you did in this just brought your mix to a whole new level. So, good job. That was much, much better. Much better. All right. Nice one. PotassiumLover, you're up now. I already switched out yours that you sent later on, so don't worry about it. If you guys see him, his name's Fighter, F-Y-T-R. I think that's Fighter. I'm gonna go with that's Fighter. Yeah, this is also one for the mix contest, I believe. Pretty certain. I had points in here before that he wanted me to check out. Now I just have them on my computer on the other screen. I'm just gonna listen to the mix. Here we go. Hope you guys enjoy it. Volume, before I get started, volume's loud enough on your end, right? We're not clipping or anything. I've got such a weird way I'm trying to route audio back in. It's a Mac. Forgive me. Yeah, Ice, feel free to resubmit. All good. Just make it quick, because you're up in 2. Yeah, alright. Volume's good. Cool. Let's get rolling. Alright, before I get too far in, I don't want to miss this part right here. I'm going to play it just so you can hear what I'm talking about, but this is the part. Wait, no, here. For whatever reason, that part just sounds a little too crunchy in the way that there's too much distortion going on, so watch your levels to make sure that your limiter isn't getting hit too hard. Past that, like, I like the mash that's going on. There just might be some either EQ tweaks or volume changes that you can make to have the mix be a bit more balanced and not hitting your limiter as much. What you did with the drop with Barricade is good. Let's see right here. For whatever reason, that could just be the warping that you're doing, but we're not coming through at full volume, and I'll show you right here. Because you see how it's not hitting the top of this? I'm going to play it and then show you what my output's showing. For whatever reason, we're hitting negative 0.55. You don't have a limiter. Okay. First off, add a limiter onto your mixes, please. That'll help them sound a bit cleaner. What the limiter will do for you is it'll make sure that you can play your tracks at full volume, but anytime that you mix in another track on top of it, Barricade thing. I think it might be something with just your download file, because let me hold on. I'm gonna see if I can if I can find. But yeah, definitely get a limiter on your tracks. On not your track specifically, but your mixes on the master channel. That way that if anything peaks, it'll catch it, because otherwise it'll sound weird, and you don't want that going in. Where is my discography for Monster Cat? I'm gonna find you Barricade. Do you have Monster Cat Gold by chance, or how'd you get the Barricade track? Wait, no, you downloaded it from the downloads package probably. Yeah, Mostrino, that free promotion was fantastic. So good. That was the demo for it. We don't want that. Where is a Barricade? This'll work. This was the 10-second teaser that we had for it. But if we just listen to this part, I think this is solo. Yeah, so you see it peaks at 0 for me on just the regular track. So just be careful. Just watch your levels. I think that's the recommendation that I just need to give you there, is watch your levels when you're making this mix and check to make sure that everything's coming through full volume when it needs to. All right, back to it. All right, so something that you can do here to help out, and it's not something I always recommend for mixes, but in your case right here, it'll help. Add a ghost kick and a sidechain compressor on the Barricade track, so that when you have the kicks come in from the new track that you're bringing in, it compresses them down, and it'll make it feel more bouncy, and it'll cut the lows out of the way for you. So see if you can do that. If you don't know what I mean by it, feel free to ask, but if you do, I recommend doing that. All right, so that mashup slapped. If you can get the volume up, again, I think it's just getting your mixers up to 0, but that was good. Another thing you can do, check to make sure that your warps are off when things are in time. That's a problem I forget sometimes. But yeah, just make sure that you're not warping things when you don't need to. If a track is in time and you're at its tempo, unwarp it. Do not leave it warped. You'll get weird artifacts in the high regions. I need to listen to that drop again, because that was really well done. Something that might be able to make this part stand out right here is adding a little bit of an impact right when it goes into motherfucking drop this. You'll see it right here. Yeah, I think that would really help. since it is in the drop. If it wasn't in the drop, I would say it would be fine because like that's the pre-drop vocal, but since it is in the drop, adding that impact will add a bit more of a punch to it, and I think that'll help you out. Okay, I'm not sure I like For You where it's placed just yet, but I think we can fix that. So, For You vocals come in right here, right? I might wait to put those in until the actual build-up. So you'll come in here. I used to be in love with heartbreak and in turn fires, something like that, so that it fits over the drop, the build up, and then you can hit the drop, the vocal part on the drop, and I think that'll help clean that up a bit, because something going in from falling into the vocals of For You, something wasn't matching up. Also, the For You vocals, they are dry as hell. For whatever reason, when Monster Cat put them out on the 2016 mix contest, they are the driest vocals I've ever heard, and I didn't realize it until like 2 years later because I wasn't smart enough. Add some reverb, add some delay, pull up the original track, try to match it up with that, re-export, and send it into your mix, and that'll make it sound a lot better. But yeah, let's get back into this. For whatever reason, I don't know why they're dry. That's just what Rich Edwards sent over. I wasn't working there at the time. I couldn't help. Alright, I have to pause for a second because I feel like I Still Dream of You is such an underrated track, and I absolutely love it. So I'm so glad you put it in this mix. Thank you. Hold on a second. Hide and Seek is in D flat, right? And we're in G right now. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That doesn't sound like it hit 6 semitones. Watch your pitch on the Hide and Seek vocals, because I think it should be up 6 semitones. Because wait, oh, we're in D minor now, or B minor. Yeah, no, you're totally right. I forget that I Still Dream of You is in B minor, which is the relative is D major. So it should just be up 1. I'm not sure the hide and seek vocals work here. Let me listen to it again. I think the keys matched up, but I think it's just one of those weird ones where the acapella doesn't fit the mix. Wait, no, it does. Hold on. Something's going a little messed up in my head right now. Yeah, I think chat's right. I think you just need to bump the vocals up a bit. I think that's what's throwing me off, is they're just a bit buried. Just raise the volume. Again, I don't know if you caught the Monster Cat stream, but the one thing that I really tried to drive home there was vocals are what really drive your mix. That's what people latch onto. Like, that's the main part of the song that they know. So if any part of your mix is playing vocals, have that part present. And yeah, I think just bump up the hide and seek vocals, and I think that'll help it out. Alright, so on the part where you have the try bringing that in with a low pass filter and a bit of a volume automation, because otherwise it kind of just stays there a little too much. Yeah, I do like that transition a lot. But okay, going from still dreaming of you, I still dream of you, whatever the name of that track is. We're going from 150. And you're building the tempo up on kicks. Something that I don't personally like, and I try to avoid as often as possible, is raising tempo when drums are happening. Because you can get your listener really messed up in the head, because they're like, wait a second, we were at one tempo, the kicks are still playing, I'm trying to keep up. It just feels a little too fast. A good way you can do that is building over like melodic parts, like where there's no drums, it's just like you got some keys in the background, some synths, whatever. You can't really notice the volume going up. But here, I'm gonna play it again. I think the only time to raise tempo when drums are playing is during build-ups. Yeah, Mostrino, you're totally right. And that's where this one kind of comes in a gray area, right? Because you're using the outro of I Still Dream of You as the build-up for the next drop, which can work. In this case, I don't really think it does. But maybe you can find a different sample, and that goes back to the demo mix that you got, right? If you listen to that, I literally took a different track for a build-up to be able to make it fit better. So maybe you can find a better track that has a build-up that'll fit into the drop that you're trying to go into, to make it so that the rising in tempo sounds better, so that you use a build-up to increase the tempo instead of an outro of a track to build the tempo. Try that. Try that, because this right here sounds off to me. Yeah, so same thing as before. Make sure the vocals, if you're playing them, make sure they're present in your mix. Right now, this one's a bit buried. Just try to bump it up however you can. Yeah, so that part right there, I think that was really clever. You teased the vocals during the drop of the last song, you used the build up, you got into Castaway. All good. Just make sure that your vocals are present. And yeah, I like that part. But you look at that, you got 2 of the required tracks. You're in the competition now. All right, hit me up with what track uses this part. What's the kick before we get into New World? That way I can help you dial it in a bit better. Hopefully you got it. Fop Sheen. Okay, so let's look at this waveform here. Right, we've got a very quiet kick compared to a much louder version of New World, and so as such it sounds a bit out of place. I'll play it real quick. Whoa, hold on, just had a brilliant idea. Use some reverse reverb. That'll clean this up perfectly. If you bump up the volume of the Fop Sheen track, whatever the track is that isn't New World, because I can't say it to save my life, raise that up so that the kick matches the kick in New World. But then grab a reverse reverb of this little pad stab right here and use that as a bit of a riser. And all right, I'm gonna try to sing along to this, and please understand that my voice is monophonic. I can't create chords with my mouth, but we're gonna do it anyways. Here we go. Still the world is. And I'm sorry if that sounded like absolute garbage, but I hope that gets the idea across to you of how you can still have the idea of New World being in there, but make it a mashup. I'm glad that you are trying to make a mashup with New World. Again, if you're just playing the required tracks straight, you're not going to make your mix stand out because everybody has to use them. Oh no. Why does everybody want a vocal pack from me? Get a vocal pack from KRYO or somebody else. They're actually good at what they do. Eric, you're here. I miss you, bud. For those of you that don't know, Poncho Kitty was my boss during college. He's an absolute legend. Show him some love in chat if you can. Poncho Kitty, I love you. Miss you, bud. All right. But yeah, hopefully that helps, Potassium. Hopefully that helps. Let's go.
They say the life's too short, and I can feel in my bones. The horizon is close now, and the world's been changing lately. But after the storm,
Hold on just a second. Jinja Twitcher, you're supposed to be taking your Spanish final right now. Why are you making me hydrate and why are you watching this stream? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, wait. That's it for the mix. No, you're totally right. Okay. Yeah, so Potassium, I think if you can take in those little bits, what did we bring that to based, where are we? Yeah, so you're at like what? 7 minutes, 15 seconds? Yeah. You still got plenty of time. You got like 3 more minutes to play with. Who would have thought? And, cool. All right, Feathervane, quick question for you, because we have a lot of people to go through today. What'd you change on this mix, other than, or the timestamps the one that like actually got changed? Is that what happened? I think Feather's here. Hopefully he is. If not, I'm just gonna give him feedback on the parts that he told me about, because we got way more than I thought we would today. Timestamps are the changes. Beautiful. I already marked them out. Okay. For those of you that weren't here last week, Feathervane submitted his mix. It was bonkers. He made some changes in the parts that I marked, and we're gonna play them. Here we go.
You come into my dreams and wake up sweating here in my bed, in my bed, in my
Excuse me, I had to swallow. Yeah, Feather, I think that definitely helped out your mix right there with the build-up of the tempo. Again, like I said on the last mix, like I'm not a huge fan of building it up on just regular drum parts, but having it a bit more extended the way you did on this one, I think definitely helped. And the way that you mixed in the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Again, I can never remember that track, even though I'm pretty sure I had to use it in the mix contest. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I think that helped a lot. Good job on that change. Candyland, that's right. Okay. Here's the next change he made. Hold on a second. All right, so I literally was just trying to respond to you, Feather, in chat, and in doing so, I missed this wicked mash that you played because I wasn't expecting it, but it hit me. So I'm gonna play it again because this is a bop.
You've made a mistake.
You cheeky boy, you even put in some pixel tear in there. All right, yeah, so that's a bop. That part, big ups. And then let's go to the last part that you wanted me to check out.
I was thinking that maybe when you get back, you could come with me.
That automatically fits so much better. I can already tell what you did. That fits so much better as a transition. Thank you.
I was thinking that maybe when you get back, you could come with me. Fuck work, fall in love right now, and spend all our money. Jump with me.
Ooh, some Coven.
Jump with me. I've been feeling it buzzing in my fingertips.
Yeah, that part definitely helped out your mix a lot. Is there anything else that you wanted me to check on this mix before I move on to isolates? Anything at all? You let me know. I'm gonna be right here. If you sang in Coven voices, Ice, I wish you could, but unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say no. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say no. Feathervane, killing it, dude. That was great. Thank you for submitting again. I hope that helped you out. And yeah, all right. Isolate resubmitted, dude. My boy over here, Patrick, he's right there. He's literally working on stream stuff as we're streaming. Isolate, I'm gonna re-download your mix real quick, and then everything will be fine. Where I'm looking for it right now, dude. So while I find this, huge shout out to Patrick. He set up this whole Google form for us. Ari, what are you doing? Yeah, so he set up this whole Google form for us. It was really good, and somehow it just works really well. Allows me to have everything in a nice place, and yeah, big shout out to him. Thank you, P9 guy. He's in chat. He's a moderator. He's my boy. I'm happy that he's out of his room now. He's not sick anymore, we think. All right, Isolate, you haven't been on here before. I'm just gonna... Can I bump down the resolution? What does that even mean?
No, for Ice, he said he's having issues.
Oh, got you. You're at 480 now. All right, Ice, just as a heads up, I'm gonna give you feedback on this stream, but if for whatever reason it doesn't come through clear for you, it's going to be on my YouTube channel later. Patrick is going to have split markers to tell you where yours is. You're going to be just fine. But let's get into your mix. I know that you had mark points for me to listen to. I'm going to listen to the full thing and just give you my feedback on it. And I hope it helps. I hope it helps. All right, so first off, I'm a big one of very atmospheric transitions, so that was nice having the little tape recorder starting at the beginning. Thought that was nice. All right, so something that I told a couple other people earlier, and I'm going to tell you now, on the track that you're bringing in that has the kick samples, or maybe it's on a different track, whatever else is playing besides the vocals, see if you can route those to a ghost sidechain so that whenever the kick or the snare punches through, they kind of back off for a second, and it will make your mix sound a bit cleaner. It'll come through in a louder fashion, and I think that'll help out this part right here. All right, so before the buildup of Dystopia, first off, if you couldn't tell from the demo mix that I made, I love Dystopia. I think it's a great track. But this part right here sounds a little bit too... It sounds like it's hitting the limiter a little too hard, unfortunately. So, a few things you can do there. EQ different tracks so that you have like highs playing from one, lows playing from another, or bring down volumes of different tracks, or do a mix of both. Whatever, it's just hitting the limiter a bit too hard. You want your drop, and in this case, your quote-unquote drop is the beginning of Dystopia. So what you want to do is try to make Dystopia sound a bit louder so it hits the listener like you want that to stand out in your mix. So again, pull back on the EQ, on the volume a little bit, and a little trick that Trivecta showed on one of the MCAT streams a couple months ago, I think, that I really liked. I don't know what program you mix in, but if you bring down the stereo imaging so that it gets narrower right before your drop and then go back to normal when the drop hits, in this case, the initial stab at Dystopia, that'll really make that part hit a lot harder because you're getting narrower and then all of a sudden you're back at normal stereo width and it just hits you hard. So that might be a really cool trick that you could try on that build up into Dystopia. Everybody has to do the finger lasers. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Okay, a few things. One, yes, this mash is nice. The one thing that I would be careful with, and this is just more from personal experience seeing it happening to other people, be careful what you use from the demo mix, because people might shit on you a little bit for that. I'm not saying I would, because you definitely made it your own in adding the mashup on the drop and stuff like that. But going from Dystopia into Axis with a mashup, it's very similar to the demo mix I made. So be careful with that. Maybe you find a different track other than Axis to use for this mashup. If you choose to keep Axis in here, I would find a way to get it to fit a bit better, because for whatever reason, the other track you're using sounds louder than the part that you're using Axis in, and you can even see it in the waveforms here. Like, this is the track that you switched it up with. Axis is this part, and you can see it's not even hitting the limiter. So be careful with that. I'm gonna play it again just so hopefully it comes through and you can hear that one's at peak level, the other one's down just a little bit, and as such they sound off. And honestly, that might be a warping thing. If you're warping everything, even if it's in time and in key, that could also cause that. Yeah, Silver Skies, you're totally right. Dystopia is in triplets, so if you're using parts of that in your drop, be careful that it sounds with everything else. You want to make sure that whatever mashes you make sound like they could be tracks on your own, not just stabs from individual tracks. I think that's a big part of it. All right, so on the part where it says push the tempo, I would honestly push that back about 4 bars, because I'll play it and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Instead of being right here, I think it should be right before the next part of the drop so that it goes something like this. Push the tempo. Yeah, so just put it right before you go back into the drop, because otherwise it sounds a little off. I love City Lights. I love this track.
Dancing through the streets, we wander, falling for the fire. Burning at the heart, throwing hands up to the sky. Ooh, we live for the night. Ooh, here for the ride. I feel alive under the city light. Under the city light. You're not the one that I look for. When I close my eyes, I'm playing hide and seek under the city light. You're not the one that I look for. When I close my eyes, I'm playing hide and seek love with no one else to find.
For whatever reason, and again, I think this might just be you warping, but the top end of City Lights just feels like it's not there and it's not as crispy as it is in the original. Go back through, check your warping settings, or maybe it's even your EQ, but something about it just isn't punching through. The hide and seek mash is good. I want to listen to the end of it, how you resolve it. But hold on, let me check something real quick. That's not what I meant. Yeah, so City Lights is a bit difficult of a one to do a mash with, right? Because right before the drop, you have vocals. You can't put another vocal over it, unfortunately. But you might be able to tease hide and seek in this part right here. And in doing so, it'll make that mash feel less out of the blue. Oh. Street? Thanks for letting me know that. I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't even realize I was gone. It's back.
You're not the one that I look for. When I close my eyes, I'm playing hide and seek under the city light. You're not the one that I look for. When I close my eyes.
Also, the hide and seek vocals sound a little dry to me. Maybe add some reverb and delay on there. That way they just feel more present in the mix. And that way when the vocals stop, it doesn't feel like everything just cuts out for a second.
Playing hide and seek love with no one else to
On this part right here, you guys are about to get another vocal sample from me. Let's hope it's not trash. Ice, see if you can do this with the vocals. With no one else to find. With no one else to find. Cobra is a bop. That was a solid transition. That was good. Okay, I see what you're going for with the amnesia stems. I think that's amnesia. Telling somebody how long you will be on my... Yeah, no, that's totally amnesia. Just yell at me in the chat if I'm wrong. But since it is a vocal, panning it left and right and having it like back in the mix just feels off to me. I'm gonna play it one more time just so I can see it. First off, I don't think that you need that raw sample in there. I don't think it does anything for your mix other than just add another track to your track list. And for being honest, I don't think adding a ton of tracks just for having a single sample in there benefits you in any way. But I mean, you're the artist at the end of the day. It's what you want. I like how you changed the vocals a little bit on the pitch. That was good, but yeah, I think honestly, if you just put the amnesia vocals front and center, you're playing with them a lot. I think that might be a really fun way to make this part stand out. Yeah, I think without panning, honestly, I think if you can get those to just stand out like that, that's a very original thing to put on this. Vocals, in my opinion, unless you're adding delay or reverb or like it's after the main part of whatever somebody's singing, they need to be front and center mono of your mix. Don't put them to the side, because then, like for me, like that just isn't something you do. Again, this is all just my opinion. All just my opinion. But that's why I came to this stream. Also, add a little bit of delay on my mind so that at this part, oh boy, vocal sample number, what is this, Patrick? Like 15 of this episode?
What's that?
Is this vocal sample 15 of this episode? Maybe, something like that.
Recording on next stream.
What?
I'm gonna start recording on next stream.
Oh no, Patrick's about to fuck me over. All right, here we go.
Somebody, how long you will be on my mind, on my mind, on my mind, on my mind, on my mind.
So that way it like fades out a little bit more and it like adds to the depth of that part. Because I think what you did with the vocals on Amnesia, that's stellar. Like I love playing with vocals. I love having them fit the mix. And if you can just add a bit of delay onto it, I think that'll really help nail down this part. Okay. Something's off about the way that this is mixed. And tell me if you're not doing this, but I think this is what's happening, and I want to listen one more time just to verify. Okay, I'm assuming that you have a limiter on your main track, and by main track I mean like the master channel, and as such, whenever you're trying to put the full track over Need You, something's coming up with the limiter where it's like squashing it. So this is where we get fun. As such, we're losing a lot of the energy of the kick that's present in the original mix. Something you can do to help with that: add a ghost kick. We've talked about this like 2 times before. Put a ghost kick on there on the one that isn't your main track in this mashup, so that the kick from the main track punches through, but the other track side chains to that, so it gets out of the way of the kick, and then everything stays in line. Yeah, ghost kick. No, it helps a lot. I mean, between reverse reverb and ghost kicks, those are like my 2 big secrets that everybody knows, but just like doesn't do a lot, and they help so much. So yeah, see if you can do that. Yeah, Mostrino, you're totally right. If you don't want to use a ghost kick, just automate it. You can also do that too. Yee. All right, so yeah, based on what chat's saying right now, I mean, honestly, there's so many different ways that you can do the same thing in music. That's the beauty of it. That's what I love about it. For me, I like ghost side chaining. For others, they like volume automation. Do whatever feels better to you, and do whatever feels more comfortable. Just make sure that you leave room for the kicks. Always leave room for the kicks. All right, on this volume, or not volume, wow. On this tempo decrease, try to extend it a little bit longer. It happens pretty quick, and if you're decreasing tempo, you're gonna lose some energy in your mix. So try to do it a bit slower. Yeah, so same here that's happening before. Your limiter's getting hit a little too hard with whatever track you have playing over the Just a Gent track. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Just watch your EQs, maybe cut a little bit more, and watch your volume automation. But the chords themselves match up. Just watch to make sure that your volumes match up as well. Something you can do to spice up this just a gent track. I did it again. Add a few of the busted out samples in the drop, random places, and by that I mean like make them fit with what's going on. Let's what is this? Vocal number 16 tonight? I'm not even keeping track, but I'm gonna try it. Here we go.
Quit running your mouth, you better bust it out. Quit running your mouth, you better bust it out.
Something like that. I'm so sorry. Alright, yeah, that outro is great. Just bump the volume on it a little bit. But I really like how atmospheric that is at the end. Overall, solid mix. Just make those few tweaks. I think that would really help it out. And yeah, but honestly, I enjoyed it. 10 minutes, 1 second. It's all good with me. All good with me. Alright, you see that we've ended the amount of tracks that I had queued up, but beautifully, while I was taking a nap today, we got more. Yo, here we go. This next one is a mashup from Makwill. You all might remember him from Mix Contest 2019. My boy's over here in Russia right now, so I don't think he's in chat. Probably he's sleeping, but he'll be checking it out later. So apparently this is his Monster Cat Mix Contest intro. And I know that he also sent the full mix. I don't know if this intro is in the mix yet, but I'm gonna check real quick. While I'm setting this up, how's everybody doing tonight? Are we all enjoying the stream? How's everything sounding? How are we doing? Are we good? Is everything chilling? Pretty epic? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Patrick. No problem. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're doing well. Patrick's right there, and he's talking to me on chat. Great. Thanks, bud. Physics homework. I'm so sorry. But, hey, it's got to be done. I'm going to listen to part of the intro of Makwill's to see if it matches up with the intro that he sent me, like, a few minutes later. If so, we're not going to play the same thing twice. That doesn't make sense. Alright, I think it's different. We're just going to play what I got in the demo submission. Here we go. He literally named this MMC intro Makwill. Makwill, I hope you check this out later. Here we go.
Inside
All right, so this part of the mash right here, that's totally from a slander track, right? Somebody back me up on this. Without You, yeah. Is it? Yeah, slander, cool. I don't really think this fits in the mash. The FICA remix is great. I'm not sure the slander part of it fits. Let me see what it goes into. Let's see. Yeah, I think you can find another vocal sample for that because I'm not sure it matches up. I like the little okay bit that you had, or goes, you'll hear it. Yeah, that sounds nice. I wouldn't use the slander track, honestly. I like the slander track on its own, but I don't think it fits here. Yeah, switch that slander track with something else, and this is a super solid intro. Alright, so slander said, not slander. Duh. Mackwill said that I should skip the first 2 minutes. Here's 2 minutes. Here we go. I missed something. I'm just gonna start from the beginning.
Mainly with the combat assassins, or is it back on the like?
Alright, so I think based on what you sent me earlier that you're going to be switching out that intro with the intro that we just listened to a second ago. If I'm just blatantly wrong, one thing that I would do is bump up the vocals on hot because they just get buried in the mix. But past that, raise the volume on everything because it's a little quiet. Yeah, so I think the only thing I would comment on that is just the build-up. Something sounded weird to me and like too artifacty, but past that, the drop was nice. Just maybe watch your warping on the build-up. That's all I gotta say. Here we have one of the required tracks. Let's see what he does with it.
Unfair that you'll never not care for me. I was always scared, no, I couldn't be prepared for you just to be a memory. We push and we pull, it's wrong and it's right, it's not black and white. But I know that we'll always be something golden. It's only worth taking to make it. If you took a little time to open up, to see my love, to see my love. It's only worth taking to make it. If you took a little time to open up, to see my love, to see my love.
Gotta be bumping.
All right, same thing that happened before. One, I would be careful going into tunnel vision out of chroma, because the demo mix went chroma or tunnel vision to chroma. Also, see if you can get a bit of a riser in, because there's not really one in chroma, and the tunnel vision drop just kind of comes out of the blue. So yeah, just be careful of that. And yeah, Streak, I totally feel that. Totally feel that. All right, hopefully that helps. Oh, another thing, add a little bit of reverb onto the end of this, because otherwise it just sounds a little dry. That could really like fill in that spot. Alright, that transition definitely needs some help, and there's not much I can say there other than at the very least add an impact. I think keys are different, like work on that part there. That one definitely caught me off guard. Yeah, again, not sure I like that that mashup there. Maybe see if you can just switch vocals with something else. Just watch your keys. I think that's a big part of this part of the mix right here, is just making sure that your keys are matched up. You'll get it. You'll find something that fits. Also, watch your volume on the slushy track. For whatever reason, it's only coming in at negative 0.6. We want that to definitely be at 0. Same thing I've been telling other people. If you're going to put vocals in your mix, make sure they stand out. I love the Streaks vocals, but they're not really coming through too loud. And make sure that they punch through. All right, Mackwill, something you can do here. The drum fills right before the Justin O track, you can really use those in your build-up. I like doing that in my live mixes a lot, and you could definitely do it in this studio mix here, and I think that would help blend the tracks together. And yeah, again, just watch your volumes. Like Mostrino's saying, it's just a little too quiet. See, before earlier when I was saying tempo switches, like big tempo switches are really nice to do over long, drawn out melodic parts. This is a good example of that. If you weren't like paying attention right on it, you wouldn't be able to tell that the tempo switched. And so with that, that's why it worked out.
I need a little patience, a little separation for my health. I'm really good at waiting, but lately I've been waiting by myself. It sounded good on paper, but that's the reason why I had to
MCS 1000 hype.
this vapor. I thought it was the air that's hard to breathe. Whoa, I guess I found a reason. Guess I found a reason. Whoa, I guess I found a reason. Guess I found a reason.
All right, so this mashup has potential. Me personally, I don't like two tracks being layered on top of one another. I don't really feel like those are the best version of the mash that you can put out. I'm pretty sure that's Sadbot underneath. I think. But honestly, you might just want to switch up from the Smile track into Sadbot, and then put a little bit of stabs in there from Smile, because I don't think layering them on top of each other gives you anything to add to the mix, and if anything, I feel it just makes it a little bit too messy. Yeah, so Mackwill, overall, if you can get your key switches more in tune and matching them up a bit better, I think this has definitely got solid potential. You're only coming in at 9 minutes and 8 seconds right now. You still got another 50 to play with before you even hit the 10-minute mark. Definitely fill that up. That's my recommendation. Disharmonic. I see that you're in the chat right now. You're going to be the last mix of the night that we listen to. And while I download this, just as a heads up, if I didn't get to your mix tonight or your demo or whatever it is, I will get to it next week. But I want to put something out there since the mix contest submission ends on July 15th. And today is the 3rd. The next stream will be on the 10th. That'll be the last stream before the mix contest closes. I'm going to be putting a priority on any mix contest demos that we get. So if I don't get to your original, your remix, or your mix that isn't for the mix contest, please don't be upset. I will get to it the next week. But if you send in a mix contest demo, I'm going to be putting that priority because I know that submissions end and you need feedback before you get it done. And yeah, here we go. Silver Skies, what do you mean I'm supposed to mute? What am I supposed to mute? Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hopefully it's not this stream I'm supposed to mute. Yeah. Ice? I don't think I'm streaming. I don't even know. What date is the 15th?
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. That's going to be Rocket League stream. If you show up to the Rocket League stream, I'll give you a happy birthday shout out. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. Disharmonic. Want something good. Let's listen to it.
Every little thing I do brings me right back to you. I try to walk away, but you're looking like cocaine. Now when you're in my bed, I think of you instead. When you're under my glove, I'm under pressure. You always find a way to change me. I try to tell you out loud, single swing. You don't know what you do to me. I'm sleeping with the enemy. You always find a way. Quit running your mouth, you better bust it out.
Alright, hold up real quick. How does this start? Yeah, okay, cool. That's got enough reverse reverb on there. Yeah, intro just starts off, brings you right into it. Definitely not a bad way to do it. Dope. Drops good. Why did it start there?
Quit running your mouth, you better bust it out.
Alright, the little stabs that are from Bust Out that are saying out, those could definitely be a little bit quieter and maybe even do a little bit more panning on them, because I think that'll add to the stereo imaging on it.
Quit running your mouth, you better bust it out.
Ooh, something you can even do here right at the end where like the busted out vocal cuts out. Maybe add a bit of a delay, so vocal pack or vocal sample number 17, here we go.
You better bust it out. Out, 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 out.
Something like that, a delay but with a pitch on it. I think that'd be a really cool way to end that transition.
Shades of blue colors, neon skies, you feel it. Closer to danger, just a touch won't be enough. Oh, in the world of Eden. Oh, in the world of Eden. We're not
Okay, so yes, I'm very much one to be slow on your tempo rises, but I think that this is almost overdoing it. I think you could get the tempo rise done in this part right here instead of waiting this entire time to catch it up. So yeah, see if you can add that in.
lost in temptation, as sweet as you can taste it. Beautiful danger, just a
Yeah, dude, solid mash. There's not too much going on here, but there's enough going on to make it interesting, and those are honestly my favorite mashes. So good job on this. I'm glad to hear it. Ice. Yeah, there is a reason. I'm not sure I can get into it on here, but I wanted 15. We went with 10, but there is a reason behind it. Just know that you got to get it in at 10. Thanks. A reverb out was definitely nice. If you didn't do that, I was going to recommend it, so nice.
No, the words can't get to you. We push and we pull, it's wrong and it's right, it's not black and white. But I know that will always be something goes on. It's only worth taking to make it. If you took a little time to open up, to see my love, to see my love. It's only worth taking to make it. If you took a little time to open up, to see my love, to see my
love. Alright, so same thing that I told a couple other people. I don't remember exactly who. Be careful when you're layering tracks in mashups. It just sounds a little messy to me. So just see if you can get, like, cut different parts to match up. Because again, there's potential here. If they sound good, if they sound alright layered on top of each other, they'll sound better if you can spread them out a bit. Because otherwise there's two melodies going on and it's kind of hard for the listener to pick up on what you want them to focus on. So just play around with different ideas. There's a ton of different ways you could do it. Either like cut the highs from chroma, leave the highs in from the other track, sidechain the other track, cut different parts from the other track into chroma and out of it. There's so many different options, but just try to do something different than what you have here. That's my recommendation. Iced, what do you want me to say? What was I gonna say? Am I gonna say there's so many things I say constantly. What was I gonna say? Yeah. You do have to dial it in. Sorry, I know I say that a lot, but it's so true. It's so true. You just gotta dial it in.
That you'll never not care for me. I was always scared, no, I couldn't be prepared. enough to see my love, to see my love. It's only worth taking to make it.
I'm curious what you go into, because my recommendation is once you play Part of Particles, or not Particles, wow. Once you play Part of Chroma, is to not play the rest of it, because everybody's going to be trying to use this track, because it sounds really good, and a lot of people have used it in their submission so far. But yeah, just be careful with how much of the required tracks you use, because otherwise yours will start to blend in with the others.
It took a little time to open up to see my love, to see my love.
Alright, yeah, that was definitely a nice switch up, but I would definitely recommend a different build. Streak, the person that submitted the example mix was me, just to make sure that the submission portal was working. So don't vote on that one. Please. Please. Yeah, so that was definitely a nice drop switch. That was good, but again, I would just recommend getting a different build up other than Chroma, because you already used it before and it just feels too used. Yeah. Yeah, so Disharmonic, I think the only thing I really have to say about this outro is, yeah, it is pretty lengthy. It takes up, what, 2 minutes of your mix? And there's a couple different things going on it from the original, but I would see if you could swap it out with something else, because the transition coming out of it is good, but it's super lengthy. you're just missing a lot of potential of what you could do with that 2 minutes, in my opinion. Yeah, the concept is great. It's just, I'm not really sure that this shows off the best side of what you have to offer. So just think about it. If you like it and you want to keep it in there, absolutely. Again, you're the artist. That's just my opinion on it. I think with you only having a 10-minute mix to submit and you filling up 2 minutes of it with the outro is a little risky, but hey, that's your choice. You do what you want to with it. Yeah. So as you all saw, Patrick passed me a note earlier. He wants me to play the Disharmonic original song just because we probably won't get to it for like 2 weeks, and the other submissions that we have are all mixes for the mix contest, which we will be playing for sure next week. So with that, we're going to end the night with this short little clip of Disharmonic's ID track. So yeah, Disharmonic, here you go. This is Disharmonic and Soma. I think that's how you say it. I saw you standing in the fields. ID. Let's give a little feedback on this. Here we go. Yeah, dude, it's just a work in progress. I get it. Yeah, so I mean, like you said, this is a work in progress. I think you're really starting to nail it with the punchiness of the 808s when you're getting into like the before the drop, I guess, or maybe this is part of the drop. It's hard to tell. It's super jazzy. It's vibey. I like it. I think if you can just get a vocal on top of it, I think that'll really nail that down. Super solid. Honestly, I don't have much to comment on it. Unfortunately, this style of EDM jazz, like, that's not really my forte, and as such, I don't really have much to comment on it other than it's sounding good. Like, yeah, it's a work in progress, but it's got a lot of potential on it. Definitely get some vocals on it though. I think that'll really help it out. And yeah, use the Rocketman vocal pack. If only. Maybe we'll get there one day. But yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of the stream for tonight. Thank you all to all of you that submitted. I hope that those of you that we got to play, that it's helpful to you in terms of getting your mixes, your originals, or your remixes in check. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Last one before the mix contest. Get them in. I'll listen to them. And I'll see you guys next week.
We'll stream on Monday and Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Patrick's my manager. I get weird at the end of the stream. Live mix on Monday. Wednesday is Rocket League again. We're really bad. Really, really bad at Rocket League, but it's fun to play. So come check us out. Monday mix is always a fun time. Patrick's out of quarantine now, so we're going to be hitting that hard again. And yeah. Hey, Eric, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, until...
This stream will be on YouTube.
Oh, good call. This stream, after we're done, and probably tomorrow morning, it'll be on YouTube. So if, one, you weren't here to listen to your feedback, it'll be on YouTube and you'll be listening to this now. And 2, if you were here and you want to listen to your feedback again, it'll also be on YouTube. So go check it out. Tomorrow morning-ish. Yeah, Patrick handles the YouTube uploads and making sure that it's all good. But perfect.
And lastly, happy 4th for people in the US.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow's the 4th of July for those of you that live in the US. Happy 4th to all of you. If you live in Canada, happy Canada Day. I know I'm a little late on that, but happy Canada Day. And till Monday, I'll see you guys later. Have a good weekend. Peace out. Bye.